Hi, everybody. Welcome to the team call for November 19th. I'm excited to go over today's topic with you guys, which is being a professional and how to be a professional. So I hope that it sheds light to you guys on the more business aspect of coaching and kind of help you to see your opportunities more and what it takes to really go far in this business. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen because once again, I have a slideshow for you guys. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay. See, I'm going to try to make it a little bigger. Okay. So be a professional. So it's pretty, if you've read GoPro, you'll kind of like understand a little bit of this. But I was kind of going through my personal development, trying to think about, what I wanted to go over with you guys. Just, judging by what I've been told what your guys' struggles are. And so I just wanted to hit those points. And when I was reading my personal development, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect for everybody right now. Especially come the end of the year, it's like everybody's just, doing their own thing and holidays, and it's hard to stay committed, and it's a slow time of the year. So we kind of, it's good timing for this call. It's kind of why I posted the call with Darren Hardy the other day. So if you didn't check that out, check it out because that was really helpful too, especially for this time of the year. Because even coaches, even I struggle this time of the year. So with the three categories of network marketers, so we are all doing network marketing with social media. You got your posers, and typically that's your people that get in it and they're like, I'm going to get rich quick with this. Like, I'm ready to make some money, and that's all they're about. And most of the time, that's going to last short term. They're going to die out quick because they're going to realize that it actually takes work in this business to get to where you're making good, consistent money, right? Then you've got your amateurs. I would say that for me, when I signed up as a coach, I was an amateur. I wasn't in it for the whole get rich quick. Like, I knew that this was a passion of mine. I wanted to lead people. I wanted to help people change their lives. So to me, it wasn't just money. But I was focused on luck. So it was easy for me and sometimes still hard for me, but I would focus a lot on excuses, anything, really, any kind of excuses, my job, time, my age, like maybe I'm too young, I don't know enough people, because when I joined, I was 23, and my upline, my coach quit on me, so I didn't have a coach. And so it was kind of easy to blame that. Like, I have no one above me placing coaches underneath me, so I'm doing it all on my own. It was easy to blame and put the excuses there to why I wasn't being as successful as I wanted to. Or, of course, the competition. It's easy to look at your newsfeed if you follow a lot of the top coaches or just a lot of, coaches in the company, and you're constantly comparing yourself to them. Like, I always say, don't compare your chapter 1 to their chapter 20. But that's one of the things that you lean on is, well, they already reached emerald and I haven't yet, things like that. And that's kind of the amateur level. You're always worried about what's that secret. I got to ask this person what they're doing because they're obviously got this secret going on. Looking for a shortcut to get your little answer to be successful. That's what I call an amateur. Now, professionals, you are not going to be focused on luck anymore. Excuses, timing, upline, shortcuts, and money. Like, bottom line, you're going to realize that you are what determines your business. You're going to determine where you go with this business. And if you're focusing on the genuality of what you're doing, like why you became a coach and changing lives, your team's going to grow, and that's going to show. Your passion is going to speak way more than that get rich quick and just wanting to make it to the top mindset. Like we said, a lot of you are wanting, I can't even tell you, our last few calls have been getting bombarded with messages from so many of you. I'm ready to quit my job. Like, I'm ready to sprint to the finish and just do so good with this. And that is just so incredible. I'm so excited about that. But you guys need to look at this like it is a business. If that's where you want to go and you want to quit your job, this needs to be looked at as a profession. It is your job. So if you're sick, you don't not show up for work. If you're sick, one thing nice about Beachbody is you can do it right here on the couch. it is a job. If you're wanting to make it your full-time income, you have to treat it that way. And you need to view this as, I think I read this in the Compound Effect, how you need to take responsibility for your own business. When I realized that it wasn't my upline's fault and it was my fault why I wasn't getting to where I wanted to, that's when I started growing. And that's when you got to, you're taking responsibility for what you're doing. There's always a way you can better yourself. Am I reaching out enough? Could I reach out more? Am I posting about the coach opportunity? Am I reading my personal development every day? Could I invest a little more time in my personal development? Am I drinking Shakeology every single day, even on vacation? Doing my workouts every day consistently? Those are huge, guys. The 3 vital behaviors, you know them. And you have to be doing them. You have to be treating this like a business, and that's your main foundation right there. So this is really cool too. It's freezing in our house. I'm covered up in a blanket. I'm going to try to get more comfortable. All right. So another thing that's cool about Beachbody is how unique we are. That's what makes us so special, because a lot of businesses, they do focus, a lot on money, where ours, when you make the initial investment, you can sign up for $40. Or when you buy a challenge pack, you get your workout and Shakeology and the $40 fee is waived. And that's stuff for you, like literally stuff that you can change your life with. Not many companies offer stuff like that. There's no student loans, background, experience, age, race, gender. Nothing is going to hinder your results in your business at all. It is up to you, like I said, and it's your business. So you get to define where you go with it. You get to define who you are and what you're going to do, how you're going to market. It is all up to you. So keep that in mind, because I tell you guys too, when you're posting on your Facebook, you're basically branding you. You're talking about yourself. You're talking about your life, your journey. And you got to think about what's unique to you. What do you like, and what do you do that can relate to other people? Example, I do daycare, so that's one thing that I can relate to other people with. Instagram, I just had a girl today that one of her New Year's resolutions she told me was she wanted me to be her coach and lose her baby weight. She does daycare, and I followed her and reached out to her months ago. But because I planted that seed, she's now wanting to jump the gun and go ahead. But it's just that uniqueness of me. I reached out to daycare providers because that's someone that I can relate to. So you got to think about what's unique about you and use that. Okay, so professional business. This is kind of like a tough love thing. So I don't want you guys to take this like I'm just bashing you with things, but you guys got to realize that we all have the same products. There is nothing different between Dakota's products, my products, Julie's products, Amanda's products. We all have the same thing. So there's no excuse there. If you see one person that's successful in our products and you're not, it's not the company's fault, it's yours. You need to find a way to change what you're doing to make that more effective. You have the same compensation plan as everybody else. So we obviously have lots of people making so much money in this business. It is unreal. So if you're looking at them and then looking at yourself and thinking, this is the compensation plan's fault. They're making more money. I'm not. I'm not lucky enough for this, or whatever excuse you have. That is not their fault, because it's the same compensation plan for everybody, no matter who you are. So you are the difference between success and failure. I just want you guys to realize that. I will share like super shaky because I'm freezing. So I promise I'm not crying or anything. Freezing. So today I just want to share this because this is kind of a thing that, I also got from Compound Effect. I had a goal for myself today. So when you hit 2-star diamond coach, you get to open a second business center. So essentially it's like running 2 coach accounts. And my plan was to have that business center to diamond by today. And unfortunately, I had one coach that was one coach away from being emerald that stopped me from getting that, which means I didn't qualify for my Star Diamond bonus. That's usually about $1,000 in January. So come today, it's been a pretty emotional day and discouraging day. We've all been there. I think that we all get discouraged at times, and today was one of those days for me. It doesn't happen often. I just had a bad day. And at first I started thinking all the amateur thoughts of what I could blame it on. Just so many things, like my age, I don't know enough people, the same things, and I don't have a coach, and why is their leg so much stronger than mine? Because they have a coach and I don't. And it's just, it's easy to blame that stuff. And then I started, reality check here, started listening to Chalene Johnson's podcast, and she's talking about having a bad attitude. And of course that would be the one we listened to today. But it really hit me, it's not anything else's fault. It's really mine. Bottom line, I could have done better. I could have been done better at reaching out and holding up and keeping accountable with my coaches and checking in with them. And so realistically, I'm using this as a lesson to work even harder and be more accountable and reaching my goals sooner than the deadline date. So, you got to think about when there's a success and failure thing, and it's up to you. You got to think about all those things. What could I have done better? Or what can I do better? Like, I'm constantly trying to think of ways I can be a better coach for everyone else. That's why I'm doing personal development constantly. Like, we don't even listen to the radio anymore in the car because we're constantly doing personal development. We're just looking for ways to better ourselves for you guys. So I just want you guys to keep in mind, you are the difference between success and failure. And you just have to own up to the fact that it is up to you. And you can make it work, and you will. Those of you that are texting me and telling me that you're ready to quit your job, make it happen, because you can. I brought Dakota home from his full-time job, and my next goal is to bring me out of my job of daycare. I absolutely love daycare, so it's not like something that I'm like, I have to do it now. I love daycare so much. I love the kids. And being that we don't have any yet, it's really convenient to love on other kids. But at the same time, it's like, I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it. And I know that it's up to me to do that. Well, us. But as far as my business that I'm doing specifically, I know that that's up to me, and I can't put the blame on anyone else for that. So, yeah, kind of like what I just talked about. You are your business. People are going to believe in you before they are your product. Why? Because people can relate to you. They can't relate to a product. So if they see that, like, for instance, I posted about my Shakeology today and what it's done for me. And I had a few comments on Instagram. People want to try it. Why? Because they've seen me consistently post about it and what it's done for me. Like, how much it's changed my life personally. And I'm not just trying to sell it. I'm not, putting up this stock image of Shakeology, buy it now. Like, I'm sharing my journey and my story of it. And that's very powerful. And people are going to look at you and see your passion and believe in that before they are a product. So you need to be genuine and show your passion through your posts. Also, know your company. You guys know I always talk about having that bank of knowledge back here. You have to know what you're talking about. If you're not, people can sense that. So be very confident in what you're practicing. Practice what you preach. Be very confident in it and know what you're doing. If you've done one program, like several times, you've never done any other program, how are you going to be confident enough to explain those other programs to other people? So you want to take, when we first became coaches, we had a lineup, each program we were doing back like one after another, because we wanted to understand every single program. Same with Shakeology. We listen to Shakeology podcasts because we want to know more about Shakeology. Just today, I went to my Shakeology page and was reading more about ingredients just because I want to know it like the back of my hand. That way people can feel your confidence and they can read it, and that's a big deal to people. They want to know that you know what you're talking about. So last week on our team call, I had showed you guys my to-do list that I do daily. So I wanted to challenge you guys to make your own daily to-do list and post it in Exhilarated Empire, because I would love to see, some of you already have, but I would love to see your daily to-do list, and maybe even weekly or monthly if that changes for you guys, if you are running different challenge groups or coach trainings, whatever you're doing. But I would love to see those daily to-do lists. And obviously doing your 3 vital behaviors daily. I can't say that enough. I sound like a broken record. But a lot of times when I have coaches that come to me and tell me they're struggling, it is 9 times out of 10 because they're not doing at least one of their 3 vital behaviors. So back to what I said, if you are doing those 3 vital behaviors, could you do more? If you're only reaching out to 3 people a day and you're not seeing as much as you'd want to, why not 5? It's not going to take much more time. So, okay. Oh, looks like that one doubled there, but okay. So the next thing I kind of wanted to briefly go over was delay. This is huge, guys. Like, I really want you to realize if you have someone that has interest in coaching, don't delay that. Don't be like, oh, I'll message them this weekend or whatever and put it off. Get on that. Like, seriously, I can't even tell you how many times people's motivation can dwindle the longer they wait. You need to jump on that. When that opportunity is there, do it. All you have to do is shoot them a message and get them in the sneak peek and then follow up with them. Like, seriously, it's so quick and easy. I've been there. Like, even challenge packs. If someone's like, I want to buy it today, and you just keep putting it off and you don't get with them and you don't stay on them, the motivation is going to dwindle and they're not going to think about it as much. Challenge groups. If you're about to end a challenge group and you're about to move into a new one and people are wanting to jump on that new one, if you don't stay onto them, it's very easy for that motivation and that thought to continue and follow through. So you guys, you can't delay when it comes to stuff like that. You have to be on top of what you're doing. I really want to stress that coach thing though, because I've been there, and I've heard of another coach that did the same thing. She had 2 people interested in coaching, and she told me that she would message them later the next week. I was like, why wait? Like, seriously, that like scared me because I was like, what if those people next week change their mind? You know, jump on that opportunity because you want to get them plugged in as soon as possible. They're obviously very inspired at the moment and they're really thinking, okay, I might be able to do this. So use that and utilize that to your advantage.
I mean, kind of on that same subject. I've watched people be interested in coaching, and just because you don't bring it, like you don't like pursue after them, someone else is. And I've watched people go to a different company that they knew nothing about just because people want to know ways of making extra income. That's a huge, huge deal for everybody. I don't care who you are. If you're doing it for the right reasons, we love coaching. We love helping everybody, but income is always at least in the back of someone's mind when they sign up to do this. They're not going to sign up and not want to make money. I mean, who doesn't? But that's kind of on our next subject. I've watched people literally everything to do with Beachbody, and people don't bring it up to them. And a week later, they're doing, say, for example, It Works. Didn't know anything about it, but someone reached out to them and followed up with them and pushed through with it. They're looking for that way out. I mean, so that's, huge to not delay, because if someone's really serious about it, they're going to find something else. If you're not reaching out to them, somebody else is. I mean, there's too many businesses out there, and I mean, some people are more hungry than others, and that's what it takes.
Yeah. And, we don't talk about the financial aspect much. We probably should, but that's one of our weaknesses. But I do want you guys to know that, despite what I emotionally went through today, I got online, I got on Facebook, and I got on my online office for, I guess some inspiration. And it was funny because we had a handful of coaches adding people to the sneak peek today. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, our team is rocking it. It is absolutely great how incredible people are doing. And messaging me being like, I guess this coach opportunity post thing works because they're having people interested in coaching. They're adding to sneak peek. And that's just incredible. We're growing our team and we're doing so good at the slowest time of the year, guys. It's absolutely incredible. And then I got in my online office and I was like, all right, I'm gonna check in my income here because I don't do that very often, and I really just needed to put things into perspective. And my very first year of coaching, my first pay week was January 31st. It'll be 3 years this January. My very first year of coaching, I made $6,000. And as of the end of this year, we'll be at about $60,000 in 3 years with coaching.
A little less than 3 years.
Yeah. Yes, because we'll have a month left. But still, $60,000 in just 3 years, that's with the first year of him working 60 hours a week and me doing daycare full time. Like, you guys need to see the potential. Like that's minimal to what some of our coaches above us even make that have been in it for twice as long. You guys, I think some of us don't see the income potential, but it's absolutely huge. What would $60,000 do for you guys? Seriously.
$60,000 extra dollars on top of your income in less than 3 years.
Right.
I mean, that's a brand new car, brand new, very nice car. If it was just extra money to you. So that's income is just huge. And we're not even on we've been in it for, like she said, right at 3 years, and we're not even in on like the higher end of coaches. There's some coaches that's been into it, say, for example, our upline, and I'll say this because he just posted about this in July.
Keith Wilson.
Keith Wilson, and as well as Keith Wilson's upline coach, Chris Ballmer. But Keith Wilson, as of last month, he's been a coach for 4.5 years, a little over 4.5 years, and he surpassed the $500,000 mark in last month. His coach, Chris Ballmer, just made it blessings post. This isn't to brag. Most of the coaches don't brag, especially our team. We have a very good team and upline team. Chris Ballmer made this post so people could see what is possible if you stick with it. And not just stick with it. Some people stick with it and then don't ever do anything. But if you stick with it and work your butt off, it shows what pays off. Chris Ballmer, after his first year of coaching, almost quit because it got so hard for him and he wasn't seeing anything. He's been a coach now for a little over 5 years. He just entered the Millionaire Club. And in July of this year alone, he made over $60,000 in 1 month. So, I mean, the possibilities are huge when you're thinking of income.
You have to talk about time. What you were saying about time.
Oh. Another one is, this is for coaches and clients. You're going to get excuses all day long. Everybody does. I mean, we still get them every single day from everybody, including our coaches, our downline coaches, upline coaches. Just don't have time. They don't have as much time as they want. It's 9.5 times out of 10. It's just an excuse that people are using. I'm a huge numbers person, so this is why Danielle's let me talk about this. I know my numbers. Math has always been my greatest subject. Might be boring, but if you work 100 hours a week, you still have, if you worked 100 hours every single week, and that's not even close to even below average American working 100 hours a week, you still have, 68 hours a week left over. That's still enough time for you. 8 hours of sleep every single night, and then an additional 12 hours after 8 hours of sleep, and 100 hours of working. And that's on the highest end out there. You still have 12 hours after 8 hours of sleep every night. What are you doing with that 12 hours? If you're serious about a business and you're wanting to turn it into a business, and you have to show you're really wanting it, put in those 12 hours to wherever you need to, wherever you struggle. Wherever or even your strong points, put it in your strong points and power through that. Use it as your strong point. But I mean, put it in.
Kind of puts it in perspective. You know, there's so many people that complain about 40 or 50 hour weeks, and what are you doing outside of that time? You know, if it's important to you, you're going to make time for it. Bottom line, that's the way it is.
I'll give this for example. I was just talking about Chris Ballmer. He hasn't quit his job yet, only because he absolutely loves his job, and he puts in 70 hours a week, and he makes over 15 grand a week with coaching, and he works 70 hours a week. I mean, most people don't even work 70 hours a week. Most people use 40 to 50 hours a week as an excuse. It's all in what you do with it and how bad you want it and what you put into it. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
That's all I gotta say about that. And then I wanted to remind you guys that next week is obviously Thanksgiving. So unfortunately, we won't be having a team call, but I promise we'll make it up to you guys the following week with something more powerful than no call at all. So that's all we had for tonight. I was hoping to kind of rush through this so that you guys would have some time for questions if you had any at all. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute you guys. I hope somebody wrote down something.
Sorry for being late, by the way. I was actually on the phone with the gentleman, and he was asking about 21 Day Fit. That was kind of exciting. Let's go.
All right. Do we have any questions? Looks like we lost a couple people, but I know they're on the go. No? Keisha, it's good to see you in here.
Hello there. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope.
And how are you?
I'm good. Still working on the dissertation, trying to get it wrapped up, but
Well,
hoping to get jumped into this real soon. So
congratulations on getting your doctorate, though. It's awesome.
thank you.
Welcome.
It's a long time coming.
Yeah. So no questions at all?
I will probably be coming to you with questions once I can sit down and go, okay, what do I need to do?
Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording really quick.